Canadian podcaster, your new favorite feature. Oh, yeah.
Hey, welcome back to the Canadian Podcaster online magazine for August 2026. And I got to tell you, August sucks. It has been horrible. I hope your August has been way better than ours. I live in Ontario, Canada, and the beginning of August saw us have two, back-to-back floods in our community, which brought in a lot of water and special bonus prize, poop, raw sewage coming into my house. Not one time, but twice. And I gotta tell you, one time's enough. I don't need 2 times the poo water. I can tell you that. So our entire house has been upside down. It has impacted my podcast studio, which has been totally ripped apart. I am now podcasting from my kitchen table. I have been podcasting from the backyard, uploading my podcast through Tim Hortons Wi-Fi. I have been continuing to podcast, even though everyone would probably tell me, Dave, you should just take a break. I still have commitments and things that I want to meet my obligations, and I want to stay active and current. And it's a great break from slugging poo water and vacuuming up water and ripping out walls and cutting up carpet and throwing away all my furniture. This is a nice break from that. I get to spend time with you. So I hope, again, that your summer, your August, is way better than mine. I'm looking forward to September. I'm actually looking forward to snow, because at least it doesn't pour rain, like torrential rain. No. Okay, I'm still bitter, but I'm okay. Thanks for being here. Thanks for pressing play. This is the mid-August edition of Canadian Podcaster Online Magazine. I hope you've had a chance to go through the magazine. This is the complimentary companion podcast that goes along with the magazine. And in this episode, every 15th of the month, we take snapshots, little clips from all of the podcasts featured in the magazine, give you some updates. We got some stuff from Katie as well over at Pod the North, a little clip from a recent discussion she had around the creator economy here in Canada. So I want to share a little bit with that with you as well, and give you a link so you can go listen and watch the whole thing, because everything Katie does is amazing. So lots to talk about. Glad you're here. Let's get going. So what are your plans for the rest of August? We're midway through the month. September's knocking on the door. This is your last chance for that Canadian summer. So what's in your plans? Where are you going? What are you doing? I'd love to hear, and I'd love to see where you're reading the Canadian Online Magazine. Where are you? Are you on holidays? Are you on a plane, on a train? Where are you? On a boat? Are you up in the mountains? Are you in the forest? At the cottage? Or bailing out water from your basement? Wherever you are, I'd like to know where you are, and let me know so that we can feature you. If you got pictures where you live, you probably live somewhere pretty cool. I would love to have some unique picture from your part of the world. We have listeners around the world, by the way. And send me a picture. We'll put it in the magazine. Why not? We'll give you all the cred and everything, so that, you could be like, I'm in the Canadian Podcaster Online Magazine. Are you? No? Yeah. Get in there. We need you as well. I'm still looking for people to write articles. If you have a newsletter, we want to feature you in your podcast newsletter. Doesn't have to be a podcast newsletter about podcasting, but it helps. And if you have a newsletter around the podcast for your podcast and your show and your community, let us know. We'd love to feature you. And I think in September, we want to look at featuring podcast communities, people who host a community for your podcast listeners, for podcasters in general, whatever you're doing. We'd love to feature you. So let us know the community that you have. Are you open to new members? All that good stuff. CanadianPodcaster.com. Love for you to come check it out. Okay, shameless plug. We are on Instagram. That's one place that we are, in addition to our website, CanadianPodcaster.com. So if you haven't followed us on Instagram, I have to wonder, did we offend you? I hope not. Come follow us on Instagram. Links in the show notes. We'd love for you to be a part of our community over there as well. We'd love to follow you back and celebrate your posts and all the things you're doing, especially if you're a Canadian podcaster. Please follow us there. We'd love to connect with you over on Instagram. Link in the show notes. Okay, enough promoting, Dave. Let's get going. My little article this month is around show notes in your podcast, and I'm asking it from both a podcaster's perspective and as a listener, as a consumer of podcasts. Your opinion on podcast show notes. That's the stuff you see on your phone as you're listening to this right now, and other people also have it on their website. You can have full-length blog posts and articles and all kinds of stuff and transcripts and clips of the show and all kinds of interesting things on your website, or you can have it on your phone and just have a synopsis of what the show is about and the key points and the links that people say in the show notes. What do you like as a podcaster? And if you take that hat off and put on a different hat, as a listener, as a consumer of podcasts, I'm curious, what do you like about these things called show notes? I'd love to hear your thoughts. CanadianPodcaster.com. SpeakPipe is right there. Leave me a message after you read through the article. We'd love for you to go check it out. Podcast show notes. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think? We have all the podcast newsletters featured as well this month. So you can see all the great stuff. We have Pod the North with Katie, which we'll have a little clip later. Make sure you sign up for Pod the North. Katie's been doing this for a long time, and she's amazing. Check her out. Another great newsletter to check out is Jody Krangle, Audio Branding, the Hidden Gem of Marketing. Make sure you sign up to her newsletter as well. She sent an email last month when we put a call out to feature newsletters. She's like, please, and you put her hand up. So yeah, Jody is amazing. And if I ever make a mistake in the magazine, Jody's one of the first people to let me know because she cares. Everybody, she cares, and she wants this magazine to do well. So Jody, thank you. Make sure you sign up for her newsletter. She is one of the best. There's also another newsletter called Curious Canada, a weekly dispatch hosted by Beehive, highlighting Canadian creators, local travel, food and culture. Curious Canada, Beehive, without the E.com. And, oh, yeah, this one, Canadian Podcaster. Hey, yeah, we have a newsletter. Well, it's kind of my newsletter. We're on Substack. Come and check us out. Love for you to connect with us. We talk about podcasting in general and Canadian podcasting and the like. Love for you to come check out our newsletter as well. And you can also see us. We post the occasional thing on LinkedIn as well, if you're interested. But thanks for checking it out. If you have a newsletter, has anything to do with podcasting at all, let me know. We'll put you in September. All right, here we go. I know this is your favorite time of the month, of middle month, 15th, when we actually have clips from different podcasts featured in the magazine. We do them in order, so you can flip through on the magazine and listen as you read and go through the pages of the magazine. But let's go through our August lineup. Here we go. Our first podcast is from the Influence Insider. Listen, learn, and level up. And it's a great podcast. Another great Canadian podcast, which I love. And we'll have a little clip for you. Are you ready? Here we go.
Welcome to our new podcast, The Influence Insider. This is also our very first episode. Today, our guest is May, an influencer with some kind of atypical background. So May, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. How did you become an influencer in the first place?
So, thanks for having me. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. So I first used social media to promote for my products. I started a small business while I was on mat leave, and then I used social media to promote my products. The business expanded exponentially, which was a surprise. I didn't even expect that. That was, by the way, during my first mat leave with my first daughter. And then I was basically just, connecting with some other influencers. And then one of them who actually I worked with. I sent him some of products to promote. He was very known. And then he was like, you know what, you're just, why don't you start? I was just basically, I wasn't showing myself. I would just do products at the first, when I first started.
So just the products in your hands, right?
Yeah, or catalog, like it's home decor items, hospitality items. So I would just basically, stage them, take photos, upload to Instagram, do small videos, things like that. Because I don't like to look at myself on camera, and I don't like hearing myself. So I was like, oh, impossible. Like, there's no way I would let people struggle.
That's funny because it's a case for a lot of people.
Exactly.
Actually.
When you hear yourself on a video, that was exactly it. And I was like, you know what? No. And then, that guy was like, why don't you do it? Like, I think you have something for social media. Like, show your face. It will add a layer of credibility to the business, and I'm sure you'll do well.
Definitely.
I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? What I'm going to lose. COVID hit
Why
at the
not?
time, right? So I didn't have much to do, and I was on mat leave. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it. And then when I started doing it, my sales immediately doubled. So I was like, wow. And that's right there and then I realized that, okay, when you add that level of trust, that's when people see you use the products, they trust you, they immediately, trust the product and the brand, etc.
Do you have like a hustle? Like, do people say that about you? That you really know how to hustle? Well, what if there was the true Northern hustle? Sounds like a dance, but it's not. It's a podcast. And it is featured in the magazine this month. True Northern Hustle is a podcast from Interac. You know the people who take your money at the store? Yeah. Well, they do that on purpose. They have their own podcast, and it's about the real experiences of small businesses and small business owners across Canada. It's the Interac podcast, and it's one you can interact with. Oh, it's True Northern Hustle. Here's a little taste of the show.
True Northern Hustle is built for Canadians who are passionate about business, entrepreneurship, and community. If you have a few minutes, we'd love to hear from you. Take our short listener survey using the link in the show notes.
I think entrepreneurship is a heavy path to walk, and I think it's not one that you can carry by yourself.
So there's always somebody that's done something like what you're trying to do. And why waste time trying to figure it out yourself if you can have somebody pour into you and give you some advice?
I'm Isabel Lee, and this is True Northern Hustle, a podcast brought to you by Interac, a proud supporter of small businesses across Canada. We're here to share real stories and experiences from Canadian business owners so others can learn from them, feel less alone, and move forward with greater confidence. When we support local businesses, help them learn, grow, and prosper, we can help power Canada's economy. And together, we can all make choices that keep more of our money here where it belongs, right here in our communities.
We have a plant-based podcast for you. It's called Plant-Based Canada. Imagine that. A podcast made by Canadians called Plant-Based Canada. Like, come on. They say, join us as we talk with experts to explore the field of nutritional sciences and how our food choices impact our health and the environment. Are you ready for some plant-based content? It's a Plant-Based Canada podcast. Here's a little taste. Here you go. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the Plant-Based Canada podcast. Join us as we talk with experts to explore the field of nutritional sciences and how our food choices impact our health and the environment. We sit down with Canadian doctors, dietitians, athletes, climate experts, and more to break down the evidence behind a whole foods plant-based diet and discuss the practical steps you can take in your effort to shift toward a healthier lifestyle. Today I chat with Dr. Irina Ghinya. Dr. Ghinya was born in Romania and immigrated to Canada with her family at a young age. She grew up in Montreal, and her experience as a competitive swimmer and working as a lifeguard in her teenage years sparked her interest in health and fitness. As a medical student at McGill University, Dr. Ghinya felt that the medicine she was learning was focused on treating people once they became sick, instead of teaching her how to keep people healthy. She went on to do her family medicine residency at Memorial University in Newfoundland, hoping that specializing in family medicine would bring her closer to her goals of working with people to prevent disease. Dr. Genia started her family practice in North Sydney in September 2000. While she enjoyed taking care of her patients, she often felt she was applying temporary fixes for their issues as opposed to getting to the root cause of their problems. In 2021, Dr. Genia discovered the field of lifestyle medicine. She learned how to support people in becoming as healthy as they can be by improving lifestyle habits. Dr. Genia became certified in the American Board of Lifestyle Medicine in December 2025. Dr. Genia was also among more than 150 healthcare professionals who signed an open letter calling for processed meats to be removed from institutional menus across Canada. The letter argues the move would better align hospital and school food policy with chronic disease prevention and dietary guidelines after processed meats like bacon, hot dogs, and deli meats were classified by the World Health Organization as Group 1 carcinogens. Do you want to take your plant-based knowledge to the next level? The online plant-based nutrition certificate through open learning and educational support at the University of Guelph has everything you need to know about implementing a sustainable plant-based diet. Each course is just 4 weeks long and will guide you through essential topics including nutritional benefits, disease prevention, and environmental impacts. You can also customize your learning with unique courses such as plant-based diets for athletes and implementing a plant-based diet at home. As the first university-level plant-based certificate in Canada, you'll explore current research, learn from leading industry experts, and join a community of like-minded people. Use our exclusive discount code PBC2026 to save 10% on all plant-based nutrition certificate courses. The discount code is valid until December 31st, 2026.
Okay, so we have the Gaming News Show here. Gaming News Canada show. It's trending gaming and sport betting topics with industry leaders and insiders, reporters, and other stakeholders in the business. So if you're into this type of stuff, for sure, this will be your new favorite podcast, Gaming News Canada show. Let's see what's in the cards for us here on this podcast. Here's a little taste of the show.
Hello again. I'm Steve McAllister, and this is the Gaming News Canada show presented by Bead Gaming. Well, folks, we turn the page on July, and geez, we're almost midway through August. As we've reported every week on the podcast and in the newsletter, the summer of 2026 has been a bit of a runaway train for the Canadian gaming industry. And smack dab in the middle of all the goings-on has been Paul Burns, the Canadian Gaming Association's president and CEO. With apologies to Willie Nelson, Paul's on the road again as we catch up with him in Calgary. So, Paul, some 3 weeks after the launch of Alberta's regulated sports betting and online gaming market, did you miss the place?
I did. And it's Alberta's been great. I've spent a lot of time here in the last year or so, and especially in the last month. And didn't expect to be back, but actually the opportunity that was created is that Gibraltar's Minister for Justice, Trade and Industry and responsible for financial services and gaming is here in Calgary this week on a bit of a trade mission. And so meeting with officials from the government of Alberta.
If you're looking for marketing news in Canada and you're wondering, I wonder if there's a Marketing News Canada podcast. Well, I guess there is, and it's in the magazine for the month. Produced by Social Next, Canada's largest independent marketing conference series. They bring you candid conversations with marketers, founders, creators, and industry leaders shaping the future of the industry. Marketing News Canada, featured in the Canadian Podcaster magazine for August 2026. Here's a little taste of Marketing News Canada.
Hey, I'm Lindsay Smith, the founder of Tact. And at Social West 2026, I sat down with Azra Manji-Savin. She's an entrepreneur, speaker, and co-founder of Sizzle, a platform helping food entrepreneurs access commercial kitchen spaces, as well as providing critical resources to helping food entrepreneurs grow their business. Beyond building a successful marketplace, Azra is passionate about personal branding, networking, and helping people build meaningful professional relationships in an increasingly digital world. In this conversation, we discuss the growing importance of personal brand, how to network authentically, and what entrepreneurs can do to stand out while staying true to themselves. Well, we're here at Social West in Calgary. This is your first time in Calgary, or are you from here?
I'm from here.
You know what? As soon as those words came out of my mouth, I was like, I think you're actually from here.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Calgary.
Okay.
I've lived all over. I'm currently based in Toronto.
Yeah.
But no, Calgary is home.
Okay, I love it. Well, Azra, thank you for being here on the podcast today for Marketing News Canada. And you're speaking at this event, or have you done it yet?
Yes, I did it this morning.
Yeah, and how did it go?
You know what? I think it went well.
Yeah.
And I say that because there was a lot of people afterwards that came up to me and
perfect.
said, you know what? I'm really scared of networking. It makes me so uncomfortable. Thank you for the tips.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? That's how I think it
That's
went
always
well.
good. That's always good. So you're an entrepreneur in your own right. You started a business 4 years ago called Sizzle.
Yes.
And it's an online marketplace for kitchen sharing. Do explain for anyone who hasn't heard of it yet.
Up next for our podcast features for August 2026, we have EdUp Canada. From students to business leaders, veterans, policymakers, blue-collar workers, and educators, you'll find out how learning a set of skills can lead to a lifetime of success. It's time to ed up. And this is the podcast for you to check out. It's EdUp, everybody. And they've got a really cool, toolbox here with life skills and all kinds of cool stickers. I want a sticker. EdUp. I'm getting distracted. EdUp podcast. There you go, everybody. Here's a little taste.
And then her mother said, I went to Herzing also. I graduated, 35 or 40 years ago. And these are her words. You got me a job the next day. And I've been there ever since. I retired. Because of that, my husband and I were able to send my daughter through the university. But, then she came back to get some skills.
How can a set of skills lead you down the path to success? That's what we're setting out to answer on the EdUp Canada podcast. I'm your host, Michael Sangster. Join me as we unpack how leaders around the world have taken training and skills and turned that into a lasting career. Now let's learn together. Welcome back to the EdUp Canada podcast. I'm Michael Sangster, your host, and I am joined today with a gentleman that I had the pleasure of meeting when I started this role, with George Hood, who was our chairman at the time, and said, you have got to give me some time. We got to spend an hour talking to Hank Herzing, Mr. Henry Herzing, the CEO of the Herzing College System in Canada, and now the trustee of Herzing University System in the U.S., that his daughter Renee is president, CEO, whatever her proper title is. But he is an institution in the career training system in Canada and the U.S., respected wherever he goes. And it is my honor to have him here today because he gave me, as did George, some real pearls of wisdom when I took on this role about what the focus of our sector
Ever
is.
wonder what's big in Canada? I wonder what's big in Canada. Well, Canada's big. But what else is big in Canada? Well, there's a podcast called Big in Canada. This is amazing how what we're contemplating has already been created. Isn't that amazing? It's a show about songs and artists that are big in Canada, but nowhere else. Hosted by Mackenzie Cameron and Laura Stanley. Big in Canada. I'm a music person. I've been doing music for 46 years. So this is on my list. And I hope you enjoy a show about songs, artists, and how that are big in Canada, but the rest of the world hasn't caught on yet to how amazing we are, right? We're a little bit of a secret, but not anymore. Big in Canada.
Oh, hello there. It's Laura Stanley here, without my pal and co-host, Mackenzie Cameron. We're in a fight, actually. No, we are not in a fight. Fights are CanCon, though. But a few months ago, when I was busy, Mac did an episode by himself, and he was joined by musician and co-host of the podcast Impossible Way of Life, Johnny Payne. So I thought I'd return the favor to Mac. It's the summer. He's a busy guy. So if you're a loyal listener of Big in Canada, you may have heard me only somewhat jokingly talk about a big in Canada summer reading club, in which Mac's response to that idea was, quote, "I can't read," end quote. So on this special episode, I'm going solo because you know what? I read a book and I'm going to be joined by the author of that book. So in a few minutes, I'm going to be joined by Brian Photo. He's based in Edmonton, and he's an associate professor of popular music and media studies at the University of Alberta. And we're going to be chatting about his latest book called Music in Orbit, Satellite Radio in the Streaming Space Age. This book, he talks a lot about, well, first he talks about like the development of satellite radio, and he positions it, because it's like a subscription model, he positions it as like a bridge between what he calls legacy broadcast music radio, so AM, FM stations, and then streaming platforms. But he also talks a lot about nostalgia and cultural growth and like the celebrity aspect of satellite radio as well. Like you probably...
So I host a podcast called Living the Next Chapter. It's not what's in the magazine this month, but I love author podcasts. BookNet Canada podcast is the latest on book publishing, data, retail, and technology. All around books. BookNet Canada podcast for those people who love to write and read. BookNet Canada podcast. Here is a taste. Let's go beyond the cover and see what's inside.
Hello and welcome to the BookNet Canada podcast. I'm Iram Noor, Marketing and Research Associate at BookNet Canada. This month's episode was created in collaboration with the Tech Forum session. BookNet research suggests that the percentage of Canadian readers who prefer audiobooks over other formats increased from 8% in 2020 to 16% in 2025. Let's listen to this session's host, Tim Middleton, talk to a panel of experts about the popularity of audiobooks, the reason behind this increase, how they champion audiobooks, what opportunities and challenges they face, how the industry could look in the future as technology evolves, and much more. To watch the full recording and read the transcript, visit the Tech Forum website at bnctechforum.ca.
Okay, let's talk audiobooks. I'm excited. So my first question is going to be for everyone, and then I'll start with Carlin, and then we'll go around to my right. So for all, our Canadian Leisure and Reading Study Review.
Okay, so this podcast is literally for the birds. Okay, this is literally for the birds. We have bird feeders and we have bird houses around our house, and we love checking out who comes to see us and visit and eat our food and make a mess on our car. But The Warblers is a Birds Canada podcast. This is, it's great. It sounds so cool too, by the way. It's an award-winning podcast, shares Canadian information, insights, and inspiration on the world of birds and bird conservation. I love this stuff. Isn't this great? This is a podcast full of lively discussions around birds, which this is, I like this. This is so good. And discovering fun facts and useful tips from expert guests. It's The Warblers, a Birds Canada podcast. Again, I told you this podcast is for the birds, and it's amazing. Check it out.
You're listening to The Warblers, a Birds Canada podcast. I'm Andrea Gress. Join me and others as we travel on common flight paths with our guests, gaining insights and inspiration from the world of birds and bird conservation in Canada. Welcome to another episode of The Warblers. Can you believe it's already late summer? That means that for some species, migration has already begun. And possibly one of the coolest places in the country to witness bird migration at this time of year is the Bay of Fundy. In this episode, we're exploring what the Bay of Fundy means for birds. We chat broadly about all the different types of species that can be found there and how they move around and interact with the tides. After all, this is one of the most dramatic and fast-changing coastal regions in the world. It also attracts semi-pollinated sandpipers in a way that no other area does. So what are they doing there? How are they interacting with the tides? And why is this area so important for them? Conservation technology is a big and exciting part of this discussion, particularly with the MODIS network. There's been a ton of research, much of it still ongoing, to help us understand bird movements at the Bay of Fundy. And all of this leads into how we can help shorebirds, which are one of the most rapidly declining group of birds in Canada. Really, really interesting episode for you here. So joining me today, I've got Avery Nagy MacArthur. So
I must have been in a musical frame of mind for this month's edition of CanadianPodcaster.com, because we have the Canadian Music Therapy podcast, and music is such a great way to reach in and do some real work for our own sake, right? And I love music as therapy. I think this is quite amazing. We have conversations around the world of music therapy and research and thought leadership, and it all has this musical aspect to it. As a musician, I love it. I think it's really great, and I think everyone should go check out Canadian Music Therapy podcast, Beyond the Studio. Here it is.
How are music therapists changing the lives of people in Canada? What is the latest research and trends? You are tuned into the Canadian Music Therapy podcast, and we will explore these questions with our guest today. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Canadian Music Therapy podcast. We are your hosts, Adrian and Kathy. Today we're speaking with Maya Adu about the evolution of her company, along with learning more about the newly launched Creative Care Club. Maya also gives us a glimpse into her hopes for the future of integrating creativity and the arts into healthcare in Canada.
And here's a little more about Maya. Maya is a Canadian music therapist and founder of Maya Creative Care, an organization dedicated to integrating music and creative arts therapies into dementia care, mental health, and community settings across Ontario. With over 10 years of experience, Maya is passionate about using creativity to foster connection, meaning, and emotional well-being for older adults, caregivers, and care teams. She is also the founder of CreativePsych.ca, an online psychotherapy practice offering creative therapy supports for children, teens, adults, and
If
families.
your city could talk, what would it say? What would it say? That'd be really interesting if your city could talk. But what if there's a podcast called City Talk? It's the City Talk Canada podcast. It's what's working and what's not, what's next for Canada cities, presented by noted urbanist Mary Rowe, President and CEO of the Canadian Urban Institute. City Talk Canada podcast. It's a podcast that talks about the city and so much more. Let's see what the city has to say. Here is City Talk Canada podcast.
I'm Mary Rowe of the Canadian Urban Institute, or CUI, and welcome to the third and final episode of City Talk's Housing in Canada FAQ, featuring answers provided by many of the leading voices of our housing ecosystem who gathered at CUI's Housing Future Summit this past June. Among them were representatives from national and regional real estate developers, financial institutions, all orders of government, and organizations focused on affordable, non-market housing. All of them eager to hear how Canada's Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities, Gregor Robertson, would answer the questions of the day. The scope and topics of conversation, including housing supply, investment strategies, and the new and improved role of government, provided a wide range of opinionated answers to our FAQs. Here's an excellent example.
The market says it isn't building any new condominiums because lots of them are sitting empty. Why isn't there a rent-to-buy option for condos?
Tackling that one is Stephen Diamond, CEO of real estate developer Diamond Corp.
We're going to have to rewrite the rules of how we're going to get condominiums or renters and those type of buildings built. And basically right now, the problem has been that the banks won't finance a project until you get 70 or 75% of the units pre-sold, but real buyers aren't going to wait 4 years for their homes. So we have to figure out a way to get those projects underway sooner. And the banks are going to have to, and the development community and the governments are going to have to come up with a way to get these projects moving.
So on top of the podcast episodes that we're featuring and the podcasters featured in the magazine this month, we also want to do a little spotlight on what Katie was doing on Pod North. She had a conversation recently about how is the Canadian creator economy doing? And it was a fascinating conversation. And I want to bring a little clip in. I'll have a link for you in the show notes. We don't have this featured in the magazine because this came out in the process of releasing the magazine, but we do have a link in the magazine for Pod the North from Katie. Definitely go sign up and follow her. Support her as well financially if you can. It's going to make things a lot easier for her. She's got some great things coming up. She's working on some stuff for PodSummit as well, helping there. There's a lot of great stuff coming up from Katie at Pod the North. And Canardian is the other podcast you need to check out as well. But Katie was talking about the Canadian creator economy, and I found the conversation really interesting, and I thought we'd put a little clip of it here for you to kind of get you interested, and then you go listen to the whole thing and watch it. It's amazing. Link in the show notes, and definitely go check out the page in the magazine for Katie as well. Here's Katie from Pod the North. And again, how is the Canadian creator economy doing? Here's a little clip.
Okay, so I'm thinking, like, as a brand strategist is how I'm going to start all of my questions. As a brand strategist. So, because when it comes to Canadian podcasts and Canadian creators, it's interesting because Instagram and TikTok function as really great discovery tools for podcasts. But we know that the conversion rates from somebody seeing an Instagram reel or a clip are not usually that high over to full audio listenership. So where my head goes is that, like, sort of the future of podcasts is it's almost like one piece of an overarching show or brand. And if you want to, like, make it or make something really successful, at least you should be prepared to produce something that is consumable on all platforms, basically. But I mean, that's not necessary for every podcast or every person or every brand. So, but like, I'm curious where your thoughts are on that, because Instagram has value, but if you were to be a strategist for a podcast as a brand, like, is it worth it to be on Instagram? And how do you even measure success on whether putting clips or not is good for you?
All that depends on a few things.
Yeah.
If I work with somebody, the first thing I'll do is an audit and be like, you always ask, like, fundamental questions, because that focuses the rest of your plan, right? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, what is your ultimate message and what are you trying to get out of it? Why are you doing this? What is your why? Who are you talking to? So what kind of folks are you talking to? Is it just, is it B2B? Is it B2C if it's a brand podcast? Is it like makeup enthusiasts? Is it craft enthusiasts? Is it Etsy witches? Like, who are you trying to talk to, right? The Wiccan community, who are you trying to talk to? Right. And then based on that, and then what does success look like to you? Right?
Yeah.
Is it clicks? Is it downloads? I'm assuming because it's podcast, it is downloads, because that's your ultimate measure of success. If it's on YouTube, is it watch time? Is it, how many people follow you? It's more of a reach. I consider reach, followers, and impressions vanity metrics. They do matter, but only in the context of the fundamental stuff, which is, actual downloads, website visits, things like that.
Is your brain sort of the mind that, like, you should only be focusing on one specific, like, measure of success?
Not necessarily. It depends on the person. It depends on the brand. Some folks want both. Some folks are like, listen, I don't give a shit about any of these metrics. I want to know that I'm affecting conversations. But then I'm like, that's great, but how do you
measure that?
How do you measure that, right? And so as a strategist, we need data. And so even if it is like, anecdotal things like that, if you put on a live event, for example. So I've gone to live podcast shows. The Read is one of my favorite ever podcasts. They've been going on for 13 years in the States. And they came up here to Toronto. This was quite a few years ago, but I've been to 2 of their events based on me being a loyal listener for this long, right? But I feel a loyalty to them. And so that loyalty can turn into an action. So I'm buying a ticket to the show. I'm buying a ticket to their side quest thing. So one of the hosts is also a comedian and a writer. He's excellent. He did one of his first stand-up shows here in Toronto. And so I went because I'm like, I want to support. He's the funniest person on the podcast. So I'm going to go support him. And then if they do other projects, so now these two hosts, Crystal and Kid Fury, have other podcasts now. They have they both started new podcasts in the last year. Am I supporting them both? Absolutely. So that could also be a measure of success where you feel like you have a solid base where if you do a side quest or another action based on something that doesn't necessarily fit in your main brand, but is adjacent to it and people support that, that is also a measure of success.
So PodSummit's coming up later on this year, and we want you to be there. If you can be there, it's a great event. Loved it. I had an opportunity to go in the past. Just such a great job. And awesome that there's something for Canada, right? It's so cool. So if you live in Alberta or you're close to Alberta, you can make your way there. You can find a path. Jump on a plane, jump on a train, jump in your car, hitchhike, whatever you need to do, get there. And PodSummit was giving us an update about what's happening, and Tim was out on a walk and sharing his thoughts about this year's PodSummit. So I thought I'd give you a little clip from his Instagram, just talking about all the great things happening in 2026 for PodSummit. Here's Tim.
Hey everyone, Tim here from PodSummit. Today's a very cool day in the world of PodSummit. Today marks the 3-year milestone from when we kicked off this journey. And I just wanted to jump on here quick and say thank you. Thank you to everyone that has come to an event, that has supported us, that has spoken at one of our events, that has volunteered, that has given their time, their energy to this project. This has been fundamentally about community. That is the why behind PodSummit. That is why we kicked this thing off 3 years ago today and started planning our first event. And that is why we continue to drive towards PodSummit this October, our third iteration, our third annual event here in Calgary, October 16th and 17th. And I cannot wait for you to experience the evolution of what this has become from when it started 3 years ago today. So thank you. Thank you to everyone. If you're new here, if you've been to our events, if you are thinking about coming to PodSummit, everyone, thank you for making this journey an incredible ride. And I cannot wait to show you what we got coming up here next. Lots of cool announcements, lots of cool stuff happening over the next couple of months as we build towards October right here in Calgary. Passes are available now. Go over to podsummit.com. You can find all the links, all the details to October's event, Canada's podcast event. We'll chat soon.
So thanks everybody for being a part of the magazine this month. There's a lot of great tools in the magazine again for you to check out. Love for you to go see what these are all about and how they can help your podcast. Remember, we have podcastforfree.com, and there's free tools there for you as a podcaster. So if you don't have a team of 20 and you're not fully monetized and making money with your show, and you need some tools to make your podcast a reality, podcastforfree.com is where you can go and get the tools that you need to do what you want to do in podcasting. If you ever need help, reach out to me at CanadianPodcaster.com. Also, come check out my sister show, the How to Podcast series, where we talk podcasting with great co-hosts and topics that help you to make your podcast better. HowToPodcast.ca, it's got .ca, is the website for that one as well, and we'd love for you to come check it out. Thanks for being part of the podcast and part of the magazine for August. I'm looking forward to seeing you in September and hearing from you and seeing your contributions for September. Always looking for articles, looking for opinion pieces, tools and resources, books, suggestions, conferences, whatever you got, let me know so I can get it into September. I'm starting to work on that magazine right now, and anything you have for me would be great. Also, if you have a newsletter, let us know about that, and we want to feature you. We want people to know about you. If we haven't featured your podcast yet, you need to tell us about it so we can get you in. It's totally free. This magazine is completely free. We don't have a paywall. There's nothing to keep anybody out. It's completely free for you, and we love to put some resources in front of you in the magazine and in the podcast to support you as a Canadian podcaster. If you need any help, again, reach out, CanadianPodcaster.com. Thanks for making time for us. Now I got to go back to fixing my house. We'll see you in September. Take care.